Hi, I'm here to talk about X-Men Days of Future Past. It's my favorite X-Men film, but it's more than just that. It's my favorite Marvel film. Uh, it's one of my favorite superhero films. It's a masterpiece. I have a very strong attachment to Days of Future Past. I really liked it when I first saw it, and I've rewatched it several times since then, and it's gotten better for me. I've grown a bigger attachment to it. It's held up incredibly well for me. Days of Future Past could be the best example I've ever seen of a film. Bring back old cast members and making it work incredibly well for the story. Uh, with time travel stuff, it makes a lot of sense for the old cast to show up in scenes, and I feel like they serve actual reasons in the story for being there. I feel like there's fan service nostalgia from seeing them, but the way they're incorporated into the story feels like they should be there, and I think that's amazing. And I feel like they use them as much as they need to be in the story. They don't even take over the film. Of course, Hugh Jackman gets a lot to do as Wolverine. A lot of the other ones do feel like supporting players, really good supporting players that have some of the best scenes, but still supporting. And I feel like that was very bold. And they still got some really great moments, so I think it still works really well. And what I love about Days of Future Past is that having the original cast and the newer cast in the same film, I feel like there was already a lot of excitement from that, and it could have relied just on that to be an enjoyable, fun film, and I likely still would have really enjoyed it. But there is much more to it than that. Days of Future Past has my favorite story of any of the X Men films. I love Charles's story arc of somebody that was really optimistic, that started going down a sadder path and had given up, but learns to be optimistic again, regains his hope, becomes the hero again. And I feel like there's so many stories where a hero goes through a bad path and it could seem like just a depressing way to take things, but in this film it feels like it is a story of optimism, and it shows how much optimism and not giving up can really help. And it can show even if somebody's given up on some of their responsibilities and some of what they did in the past, they can learn to work hard again, to put in their passion, put in their effort. And it's a beautifully moving story that is one of the most emotionally moving stories that I've seen, not just from X-Men or Marvel, but from superhero films in general. It is so deeply impactful to me as a person, and um, the scene where the two Charleses meet each other, that already could have been just fantastic for the novelty of those two actors as the same character meeting up, but it is a beautifully sweet scene of Patrick Stewart Charles giving advice to James McAvoy Charles. It is so wonderful, and it is my favorite scene out of any of the X-Men films, and it could be my favorite scene from any Marvel film. It just means so much to me on such a personal level. And I love the way Wolverine is incorporated into the film, where he does get a lot of focus. He is a viewpoint character in a lot of it, but Charles has the biggest character arc. He gets a lot to do. It's not just Wolverine doing stuff. Charles is a huge part of it. Mystique has a lot to do. Magneto is a big player. It's not just another Wolverine adventure, but Wolverine still has plenty of great moments. And I love the villain stuff with Magneto, Mystique, and Bolivar Trask. All three of them are fascinating villains because I feel like when there's more than one main villain, there's usually the thing where one of them is multi layered, sympathetic, the other one is one dimensionally evil. And it would have been so easy for uh, one of the main villains of the film to be that, but they aren't. Even Bolivar Trask, who I think in most other films would be the one dimensional bad guy for the audience to dislike, even he has a little bit of nuance where if he feels the closest to being a full villain at times, but even he has a little bit of nuance and humanity and has at least somewhat of a viewpoint that is at least somewhat understandable, even if he's still very much a villain, still very misguided, and was responsible for the problems in the film. So I love the multi-layered villains. The characters are so fascinating. What's done with the main characters, fantastic stuff. What's done with even some of the cameo characters, it feels like it means something and it's incorporated well. So Days of Future Past means so much to me, and I really love it.